After years of speculation and hope, Nokia is ultimately into the Android world, and we have here a Nokia X family of smartphones. I have the cheapest one, and it's Nokia X. Nokia X Plus and Nokia XL are two other members of this family with slightly better RAM, and XL has got a larger 5 inches display. This X and also the X Plus sport a 4 inches display. Now the form factor of these smartphones are exactly same as Nokia's Asha series smartphones, and beyond doubt this is the best looking smartphone you can find at this price point. I have here a Sony Xperia U1 which is around 2000 rupees pricier, but looks and feels like a chunky plastic toy in front of this Nokia X. In fact, Nokia's own Lumia series devices like Lumia 525 or 520 does not feel and look that much attractive as this candy bar looking Nokia X. Each and every corner of the smartphone is well polished, the switches are well built, and this phone looks like a unibody phone with matte finished plastic. Now the most interesting part is the interface, which does not feel like a typical Android device. Nokia has developed their own interface. The display, as I mentioned before, is 4 inches, which is perfect for one-hand handling, and the resolution is 800 by 480, which gives us 233 ppi pixel density, which is excellent for a device with this price tag. As you know, Nokia X is retailing at around 8000 rupees in India, that is around 130 USD. Now, unlike TouchWiz or HTC Sense, Nokia X interface is restricted to Nokia and Microsoft core services and applications. That is, you cannot access Google Play services and also the Gmail app. I'll talk about this later on in this review. As you can see, on the standby mode you are getting this glance screen just like the Lumia series devices, and a double stroke on the screen will wake the display up. You have to actually tap real hard. This really makes sense. This is a touchscreen phone and you don't have to access the hardware keys every time you want to unlock this smartphone. Unlike Windows phones, you can access the notifications right from the lock screen, so this is a great feature directly borrowed from Nokia Asha platform. In fact, the whole interface resembles the Nokia Asha platform, and the home screen has got the look of Windows Phone 8 interface. But there is no separate apps menu like Windows Phone or Android, so you have to basically rely on the folders. You are getting resizable lifestyles of Windows Phone 8 and widgets of Android, so this interface make the best use of both Windows Phone and Android, and moreover you can install Android launchers and get the original Android look. I have already uploaded a video on that, so check the channel, and I've also uploaded another video on how to download Android applications from different sources. As you can see, the interface is almost identical to Windows Phone 8, and you can create folders which will help you to manage the applications you have downloaded. I have downloaded lots of applications of different categories, and what I have found that most of the Android applications are compatible with this Nokia X, but the games, especially the hardcore games, are not compatible. I think more than 50% of the popular Android games are not supported by this Nokia X platform. Well, the interface is quite user friendly. All you have to do is to just swipe. For example, to get rid of any application, you have to just swipe from the edge and you can go to the home. Pressing and holding the back key will also bring the home. Now swiping from the top edge will bring some important toggle switches and the settings, the Wi-Fi shortcut, but there is no notification center. All you have got is the first lane. I'll show you that later on in this review. You can also swipe from the bottom edge and get some important options. So you can swipe from all the 4 edges, and here on this home screen, if you swipe left or right, you can get the first lane, which is basically a sorted list of all of your activities in chronological order. You can look back into all of your activities except the camera and the stock browser. These applications are obviously not running, you are just looking at the history, but few applications like the music player work as a widget, and as you can see, swiping down brings the future events like the alarm, the calendar events, etc. In this way, first lane helps you to manage your day-to-day activities. So the interface is quite handy and something refreshing for the Android users. If you are fed up with the typical grid style design of Android, then you can try this new Nokia X platform. Now, as I mentioned before, along with this interface, you can also get back the familiar look of Android using launchers. The launcher I have tried is the very popular Go Launcher X, and you can also try the Nova launcher and a lot of other launchers. These are mostly not available on the Nokia store. You have to try some third-party stores like the One Mobile Market or the Yandex store. Here with this launcher you can get the apps menu as well. So the Nokia X interface is basically a skin, and you can get any other skin using launcher and theme, but still you cannot access the Play services and the Gmail app. You will also miss the exclusive Nokia apps like the Mix Radio and also the amazing Fast Lane. Notification window is also not available on these launchers. So unlike other Android devices, this smartphone is basically Microsoft or Nokia oriented. You are forced to use their signature applications and services like the Here Maps and also the Bing search tool, but you can sideload few Google services and applications as I did with the help of these third-party stores. From this One Mobile Market, I have downloaded the Chrome browser, the Google Play Music, Google Search, Google Translate and also the YouTube app. All of those are working fine, and I have also downloaded an application which will enable you to get the Google Now functionality. All you have to do is to just search here and download, and also check whether they are working or not, because games may not work from here. There are 4 more stores I found quite handy for this Nokia X, and you are obviously getting the Nokia store from where you can download thousands of applications and games which are supported, and you can download those 5 stores from this Nokia store here. Now one thing very interesting I want to show you. If you search for any application that is not available on this Nokia store, you will get a link of the third-party stores, and in this way Nokia store can guide you to download all of your important applications on this Android smartphone. Well guys, these are the Google apps I was able to download, and Play Music is the only Play service working. Other Google apps like Google Translate, the YouTube voice search and the Chrome browser and also the Google search are working fine on this Nokia X. Gmail app crashes every time I run, and the Play Store also doesn't work, but you can surely root this smartphone and force these Google applications to work. These are the social apps perfectly working. It's good to see Instagram, WhatsApp, etc. are working out of the box. You can also install the versatile MX player and the SwiftKey keyboard to get the continuous input on the keyboard. So this Nokia X platform is much more feature rich than Windows Phone 8, especially on app support and also in user experience, file management, etc. As you know, unlike Windows Phone 8, Nokia X supports File Manager. Typing using this continuous input is the best way to write on a touchscreen device. The apps and services borrowed from Nokia Lumia devices include this Mix Radio and the Here Maps. As you know, with the Mix Radio you can listen to thousands of songs for free of cost, and you can even download them. You can create your own radio station with your favorite artist and genre. The loudspeaker of Nokia X is decent but not extraordinarily loud. You can download with this option here. So this is a great feature for the music lovers. Nokia Here Maps and Here Drives are other great features of this Nokia X, and as you know, you can also download maps and browse maps offline. So these are the benefits of getting an Android device from Nokia. The Android version on this Nokia X is 4.1.2 Jelly Bean, and this is also a dual SIM dual standby phone. Well, if you swipe down on this home screen, you can get this search tool and you can search online, you can search on the maps and also on the device. The search engine is obviously not Google, it's Bing from Microsoft. There is basically no trace of Google on this Nokia X. Overall, what Nokia has done on this Nokia X series of smartphones is they used the familiarity of Android and the functionality of Windows phones. This is basically not a Google certified project, and Nokia deliberately removed all the core Google services. They didn't want to take risks, so they started this project with these entry-level devices specifically for countries like India. Now, as I mentioned before, there is a file manager on this smartphone out of the box, and you can download the APK files from different sources like from different websites and also from your old Android device and sideload those applications with this file manager. So there are a couple of ways you can load this smartphone with Android games and applications. Here on this first lane there is a music widget because I have recently played a music and the download progress is also showing here. So in day-to-day life this first lane is quite handy. and a good replacement of the notification center. Well, so far I've been talking about the interface and the overall functionality of the smartphone. Let's talk about the performance. And well, Nokia has not blessed this Nokia X with proper specifications for a flawless performance just to keep the price under 8,000 rupees. Also, don't forget about this great quality display and the great exterior look and the build of the smartphone. But as a result, the interface is quite laggy and there is shuttery experience all over the interface. This wasn't the case when I started using this device, but after installing couple of applications and games and especially the launcher, the interface has become quite laggy, and fortunately this smartphone has not crashed even once during testing, unlike other entry-level Android devices. And you should not blame Nokia for this, because Android itself is quite laggy and what you are getting at this price point is quite reasonable. The memory part is quite disappointing because you will get around 2.2 gigs of memory for your applications and games, and you cannot move them to the external SD card. The RAM is 512 MB and you will get around 150 MB of free space for the users. But overall, this Nokia X is fast enough for everyday normal uses, and you can play mid-level games like Temple Run 2, Raging Thunder 2, etc. And the battery life of this smartphone is excellent. I think the best on an entry-level device. You will get at least 2 days on normal to heavy uses and 3 to 4 days on very minimum uses. So that's a very important point you should take note. Well, this is the official website of Gadgets Portal, that is gadgetsportal.in, and the browsing experience on this Nokia X is not bad. But there is a very annoying problem I want to mention here. While scrolling, you may experience some blackouts on the screen, which is quite disturbing. Otherwise, double tap or pinch to zoom etc. features are working quite well on this browser. As you can see, I am experiencing some lag as well. So the low RAM and the mediocre processor, the GPU etc. are not handling this phone smoothly, and after installing the launcher, the phone has become quite slow. So if you don't mess up this smartphone with launchers, applications, games etc., then the scenario is not this bad. Next, I want to show you the camera, which is of 3 megapixels and there is no flash or any front facing camera. This is also a fixed focus camera, but the quality is not that bad. As this is a fixed focus camera, the short distant objects are always out of focus, and if you take normal images of distant objects, then the quality is not bad. Low light handling of this camera is not that good, but okay for a device in this category. There is also noise cancellation and also face detection and also anti-banding, saturation, contrast, sharpness control etc. The video recording capability of this phone is up to 480p at 30 fps. As usual, I have uploaded some camera samples into my website gadgetsportal.in and also into my Facebook page facebook.com/gadgetsportal. You can check the description below and find the direct links. So this is the new Nokia X, the first Android device from brand Nokia, and I really appreciate Nokia's decision of making Android devices. I really hope that Nokia will make more capable devices in near future. The Cortex A5 processor they are using are quite old and also quite basic, so they should at least upgrade to Cortex A7. The graphics is Adreno 203, which is also not good enough for handling this versatile Android OS. The OS version on this Nokia X out of the box is 4.1.2 Jelly Bean. So the main reason you should buy this smartphone is the exterior design and the build quality of this phone is much better than those cheap plasticky Samsung, Sony or LG devices. You can also like the display quality, the new interface and also the brand Nokia. Well guys, that's all in this review. I hope that you have found it quite useful. You can check the description below and find other videos on this Nokia X. I'll also review Nokia X Plus and Nokia XL, so make sure you subscribe and keep in touch. You can check facebook.com/gadgetsportal for the camera samples and gadgetsportal.in for a written review. So thanks for watching guys, keep in touch.